Morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone.
Nearly.
It's 1 o'clock. Welcome back to the craft store. You're right, Laura, you're fed and watered for lunch?
I am.
What did you have?
I
You
had
had a wrap, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a halloumi wrap.
Delightful.
Yeah.
Director Chris had more anchovies. Horrific. Welcome along. Now, this hour is all about Carnation Crafts. Thank you for watching on YouTube, on Facebook, of course. This is a brand new one, the latest collection from you.
Brand new.
Very exciting. Of course, with the craft store, you go direct to the supplier. So you're going on, we'll get the details on the screen, carnationcrafts.co.uk. What do we get home? I know we're going to look at the boards closer up, but let's have a little introduction here.
Yeah, so in here, you've got everything to make your card bases, but you've also got those seam building elements. So you've got your teddy bear's picnic, so you've got your teddies there, you've got the picnic building scenes, you've got the teepee, which is just adorable. You've got him there, he's eating way too much cake, he's having that nap after having his lunch. And then we go on to the picnic, the basket and bow set. So this is your card base. So you're going to be able to make card bases using this using the basket.
I mean, it can be a picnic basket if you want it to be.
It could be a picnic basket.
I feel like you're quite determined for it to be so.
So you can make the card bases like this. So you've got your card base straight away. You can also use it on its own as well. So like this one, where you could bring it in and you could just use the basket. But you can see how lovely that bow is there. And these elements on the top there are the blanket that actually go into the basket, and I'll show you how they work when we get to the demo area. Then we go on to our forest flower. This is probably my favourite one in the collection.
There's so much that meets the eye with this, isn't there?
Yeah, now this to me is your second card base, because you can use the trees here with those matte layers to actually make card bases as well. So for me, you're getting two card shapes in here for the price of one.
It's a full, like, diorama, isn't it? Wherever you're. So if you're thinking about, like, a table setting or centrepiece.
Yes. It makes you think of, do you know now I'm looking at that one, it makes me think of, like, Twilight.
Oh, yeah, okay. Were you team Edward or team Jacob? Were they the two names?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
I don't know. I like them. I think Jacob.
I like them.
I like them both.
She's not fussy. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so you've got your seam building elements in here as well. So you've got all of those grounding elements. You've got your florals, which you'll see match up with the florals we've got coming up. You've got your grass and you've got those leaves to go into the trees as well. You do have the downloads for all of these as well. So you've got the vignettes that will work with all of them. Then we go on to our new blooms. So you can see now these are the larger florals of the ones that we just shown you. So you've got those large flowers in here. You do have the decoupage elements for these too. So they really do build up and give you that 3D effect with these. They are incredibly detailed, like that one there, the white daffodils on a white card, and it just pops and looks so elegant and sophisticated. That could be a sympathy card, an engagement card. You can cover so many different occasions with this collection.
Although this card blank, the rattan, that's coming up in just a second. Also brand new for you, launching alongside Spring Grandeur. But one more to spy just here. Easter egg hunters, Laura.
Yeah, so you've got that lovely image there of the child going for a walk in the woods. He's got his little basket there. You've got the eggs there too. So if you do somebody that makes and sells, because you can make and sell with all of these, Easter cards, this is perfect. You've got all those Easter eggs there in different colours, different sizes, so you can scatter them through the woods and make it look as if he's going on a proper Easter egg hunt. With the basket, you can pop them in there as well. And then you've got the squirrel, the hedgehog and the rabbit to actually decorate your scene. So lots of scene buildings in here. I loved one of the things that you asked earlier about this collection, and I think this is such a lovely collection if you've never tried Carnation before, because you've got your card bases, but you've got your seam building elements, you've still got your florals in here. So for me, you've got a bit of everything in this collection.
So you haven't got to have a previous collection for this to tie into. This could be your first
collection
purchase. Now, these are all designed in-house at carnationcrafts.co.uk. Whilst we look at a couple of samples or two, plenty more still to show you. I've got to tell you, this is not available anywhere else. If you want to get this collection, the Spring Grandeur, from money saving, £20 off, for free P&P, you order this show right now, carnationcrafts.co.uk. This will be available elsewhere at the end of March. Hey, listen, what's date today? 5th? 4th? 6th? 6th? I mean, the showtime yesterday, the 6th. So therefore, this, right, I say here, the craft store. Of course, you're shopping direct. Carnationcrafts.co.uk. They get every single penny of your purchase. If you want to get the artwork, you can for free. You want to get backgrounds for free, inserts for free, all on carnationcrafts.co.uk. But right now is the only place that you can order yours. That's why I want you to get on there before the stock goes. Because after all, we were saying this morning, you guys did a show with it at the start of the week.
Yes.
70%'s gone. Over 70% has gone. So congratulations to everybody getting hold of your spring grandeur. But Laura, if we wander this way, there is another collection, mini collection if you like, that goes alongside there if you want it to go alongside. And you had a little spy earlier on because we just saw a sample or two using the rattan collection. Yeah,
this is absolutely lovely. Now this does coordinate in with the spring grandeur collection perfectly. But to me, this could be a standalone collection just to add into your essential dyes. So those essential matte layers, those frames that you'll have at home, this is going to fit in with that perfectly. So you've got that rattan design on the front. So you've got the label and the heart there, but you've also got the matte layers that go in front of it, and you've got the matte layers in the center as well. So you could use this to make your card bases. So like we've got the label there, so you can see using those matte layers for the base. And then you've got that rattan shape in the centre. And you can just see how perfectly that does coordinate with the Spring Grandeur collection. But one of the things that I was saying, the holes that you've got in the rattan design, you can actually feed the flowers in to those holes. So other collections that you might have from Carnation might work the same way as well. So you could actually make like heart wreaths with these, or you could make wreaths out of the label shape with these and just add in the florals into the pattern. But this one on the end, I adore this pattern. This one, Sue's done this one, and it is just absolutely stunning. Having it as a hanging element, and then that made me think, oh, actually, you could hang like 3 or 4 of those hearts together, and then you're making like a sign for a wall.
Yeah,
could
absolutely.
Be home
Home decor.
deco.
Yeah.
So you could do things like that with this, which I just think look absolutely amazing. There was a sample that we had where one of the design team members used the label and they put 3 of them together, and it made me think of like a privacy screen.
Oh yeah.
So if you've got any of it, like our mannequins or dressing mice and things like that.
I'm going to walk around in a circle and see if I can find it.
You could use it like that as well. I don't think I've seen it.
Can't see it.
Maybe it stayed up in the studio because I don't think
It
I've
might
seen it
appear.
when we pulled it out. But so you could use it like that. So you could use them like privacy screens too.
Now listen, if you just want to go for this, you can do after all by going direct, carnationcrafts.co.uk. Details are on your screen. You're going to get £5 off. And you can divide it by 4 if you want to with ClearPay, so only £10 today. But, Miss Laura, by this going in the same transaction over there, which basically 1 for 1 has done previously, I get free P&P here. Yes,
so that collection you're going to get free P&P with. So if you add this in, you'll get free P&P with that as well. But then I'd add in extra too.
Exactly, you've got the papers coming up coordinating with. But that makes it £35 delivered, as you heard, by ordering early enough in the day, which we think we're still there, aren't we? It's going to be sent out the same day. That's what Carnation aim for. So as you're saying, people ordered on Tuesday have already got it.
Yeah, we launched on Tuesday, and on Wednesday we were getting pictures of cards that people were sat at home making, which is just amazing. So the team at Carnation, the girls up there that get everything packed and shipped out, they are amazing. So
this is your rattan card collection. One more item to show you, but talking about that, Laura, about the sort of things you can be creating. I know Easter because you've got some iconography in there, but so interesting on the comments on Facebook particularly, lots of people talking about new home cards, new babies, arrivals, weddings you mentioned with the heart, the rattan coming into it, anniversaries, Valentine's, something a bit more sympathetic because you've got the flowers and it's very delicate and very lacy if you want it to be.
Yeah, and I think especially with the rattan card shapes as well, like if I bring that one in, and if I just pop that one there, that is white on white and with the flowers in there, and that could be a sympathy card. It's just that little pop of colour that could easily be get well soon with sympathy. Or you could go in with creams and golds. It could be an engagement card. It could be a wedding card. You know, you can see cards in this for children with the teddy bear's picnic. It just covers so many different occasions. It's such a lovely collection. And I love that you can go in like that with, so that is one of the flowers and the leaves from the tree. So that's 2 of the dies. But then you can go in and build up an amazing scene as well. There's so much you can do with these.
And to coordinate with, that's where the cardstock, the spring papers come into it. And actually, I'm used to purely having just like the solid colourway, but this has 3 different designs, solid and.
Yes, you're going to get 2. So in each colourway, you're going to get 2 of the solid. You're going to get the stripe.
Yep.
And then you're going to get the dotted design. Now, the designs are in white, so you just get that subtle pop of colour, which I love. So if you pop them as matte and layer.
Funny things to your eyes, that one, won't it? Quick, go over it. Quick. There we go.
If you do them as matte and layers, they're not really bold. They're not in your face. It doesn't draw any attention away from the focal point of what you were going to put at the front of the card. But I love the colorways in this. I was thinking earlier, even if you wanted to just grab this paper pack as a paper pack to go into your craft stash, it's such a lovely colorway, but it does work perfectly with the Spring Grandeur collection because the colorways that you can see here have been pulled out from the vignette.
Well,
so it coordinates perfectly.
let's talk newborn, shall we? Let's be dead typical about it. You've got a baby blue and a baby pink in there, so absolutely perfect for a newborn, gender reveal, whatever it is. Happy first birthday. But then, as you say, you've got the green tones in there, tying it with peonies or roses or bluebells, etc., which is exactly what this is all about. 48 sheets, $14.99. That's an extra $3.75 in your ClearPay interest-free basket if you want to flexitize if you like. Therefore, that going in with the Spring Grandeur goes to free P&P. You can buy the show for $38.75 delivered. Only by going to carnationcrafts.co.uk. Every single penny that you spend on this show, carnationcrafts.co.uk. Shall we demonstrate, Miss Laura?
Oh, I thought we were doing boards.
Shall we do boards, Miss Laura? It's exactly the plan. It's all right here. I should just look what I'm doing.
Should we do the boards?
Oh, let's do the boards.
Yeah, let's do
why
the boards.
not? Yeah.
Okay, so shall we start off with the Teddy Bears picnic?
Go on.
So this is the one with those lovely bears. Now, I was saying I adore these because they remind me of like that vintage style bear. They're cute, but they're not too cute. You know, you've got one here that's pigged out in the picnic. You've got another one here bringing in his sandwich. You could be bringing in a cake. Some of the demos I did, I actually glued the cake on top of that, so it looked as if he was carrying the cake instead.
Nice. Yeah.
Or you could be carrying in the basket. You've got one sat down, but because they're in different poses, it makes it really easy to build up that scene and place them around different areas as well. And then you've got that teepee, which I adore. You could be using this for camping. If you know somebody who loves camping, you could be making camping style cards. You could cut that middle part out and pop one of the bears in there, or you could pop this a little bit out and put our tiny lights in there and make it like a light up tent.
Very cool.
So you can do things like that with this one. Then we go on to our new blooms. So these are those large flowers that we have in there. So you can see here your decoupage elements that will build on top of these, and they just work perfectly. Now, all of these are the cut lines. So if you wanted to cut them out in watercolour card, colour them in yourself, you can absolutely do that. You still get all of the detail in the dies, but you do have that artwork there as well.
I didn't bring this in last time, but I meant to, because we showed this one last time, which shows you like the stems and the leaves being included, but you haven't got any. You say like you can weave them through the rattan. This is just the flower heads with a little bunny on there, with some of the almost like landscaping elements from the forest floor.
Yeah, and it just looks stunning.
Isn't it just?
Absolutely beautiful. And then that again, even if you took the bunny away, that could easily be like a sympathy card, a wedding card. There's just something really elegant about them. They look absolutely lovely.
And all those mats and layers on the inside here, like almost like direct, that could be taken out and that could be in your scrapbook pages, your memory albums, your books,
use individually, but those are all of the layers from that. You could even make a memory book from that.
Yes, you could.
You could make a memory book from this design, and then where the holes are there, thread ribbon through that, or put those clips through there, cut these out, and you could just have them on
That's
like
exactly
a
what you can do. Love that. Chris, director there, was saying...
My coffee's kicked in.
Here we go. Finally. Only 5 cups, and now here we are. Chris over there was saying about being bookmarks and things. You want to do that to make and sell for keepsakes, to say thank you, to remind us of?
There is a sample that has like a loop of ribbon on the top that actually looks kind of like it.
Is that where the other one... Oh, here we go. Is it an easel card? Here we go.
There you go. You could do the same thing with the hearts. You could make like a heart memory book.
Yes, you could.
And then the heart centre bit, you could put pictures in it. So it'd be like a picture frame.
So sweet, isn't it? But all these ideas are at your disposal. And listen, Carnation Crafts have their own YouTube channel. I know you do lots of Carnation TV, so you can see all sorts of different ideas going on there. This is the brand... I know we haven't even finished the board yet, but just to remind you, because you're getting busier and busier on YouTube and on Facebook, this is the brand new collection, the latest one. You cannot get it anywhere else but direct with carnationcrafts.co.uk. So if you want to be the first people anywhere in the world, and with a discount, and free P&P, that's why you shop right here with Carnation Crafts. So we're really excited you brought that to the craft store. So thank you, and thank you guys at HQ. Continue on. I'll put this back wherever I found it.
Basket and bow card shape. So this is the card shape. You've got your outside mat and layers that you can see there. So you've got your mat and layers to go on the outside. You've got that basket. This is the basket blanket, which will sit inside the basket like that. So you can see that they just look as if the blanket is just hanging over the basket, and then you can build your basket up, and then you can see where you're going to place your bow to make the basket like that. You could also use the basket itself as a card if you wanted to, and obviously with Carnation you get the mirrored vignettes, so it doesn't matter which way you look at it, it is still going to look absolutely
Those little
stunning.
basket pieces, now you've pointed it out, I think they're my favourite bits. Imagine, like, I'd imagine normally elsewhere that would be part of the design, so you have to have it. Whereas here, imagine like it's a tiny little element, but it's so realistic, isn't it? And it's just the thought that's gone in to add that in as a set. Like, that can't be easy to design.
No, and you could cut that out in. You could even try cutting that out in fabric.
Yeah, you could.
So you could use, what was that? What's the spray that makes the fabric hard? And then you can.
Is it called 505 or 404?
You can cut.
Have I made it up?
Or glue some thin fabric onto cardstock and then die cut it out.
Yeah, you could.
And then die cut them out.
Have I made it
and
up?
then
Is it called 505 spray?
I don't know. I can't remember what it's called.
Do you know at home?
Somebody at home is shouting at the screen.
Yeah, they're like, oh, he doesn't know anything. Turn it off. Is this Create Craft? No wonder it doesn't go on any. No, it's not. It is at the craft store. Don't worry about it. Could be like a stiffen spray. That's sometimes a thing. Maybe it's called that.
I'm moving on.
Anyway,
yeah, so the other thing you can do as well is I was thinking that you could actually cut the handles off and it looks like a baby basket.
Or you think it looks like a...
Do you know?
Yeah?
So in the earlier show, I was saying that I'm going to use this die now for next week because there's something coming next week. If you go over to Carnation Crafts Facebook page, I'm guessing because I've dropped the ball and I've like hinted, but they've put out some like little sneaky pictures of what's coming that I'm going to use that with. And that's all I'm saying about it, and I'm moving on because I don't want to get into trouble. This is how easy it is. You go, what you're watching Craft Store right now, go on carnationcrafts.co.uk because that's what you order. I'm going to move on to the Easter egg hunters next. Now this
look at those.
See? Now wouldn't that go perfect with that?
Wouldn't it just?
There you go.
That is cute.
So we've got the little child there going for a stroll in the woods. You can snip away the basket if you want to. There's always so much snippability with Carnation. You've got your animals there to build up your scene. And then you've got the little Easter eggs there that you can build into the scene. So like I said, you have got that nod to Easter in here if you make and sell for Easter cards.
Starch? Is starch what you're thinking of? Starch spray? To stiffen up fabric?
It might be. As somebody messaged
Louise, I think you might be right. Also, Susan says, hi, Laura and Dan, good afternoon. Kamajit is watching, all is watching. Hillary as well, Gaynor. But yeah, starch. Louise, I think you might be right. It's like a starch spray, right? Yeah? You're right. Yeah. Okay. Right. Forest flower. Now, this is the one that I was saying to me, you were getting 2 card blanks, 2 card shapes in here for the price of 1, because you've got those outside mats and layers there for this, so you can make your own card bases with those mats, which just looks absolutely amazing. So you can build in your scene. Well, with that, this could be a mat and layer on a card. That shape in its own right. As you said, hole punch there, bit of twine going through there, another memory book. Could be. You could do, or you could do like a memory book of if you've been camping, and you could have different. You could put a picture behind that. Yes, you could, like actually in the woods. You actually in the woods, and then put your picture behind the woods. Too cute, isn't it? And then you can build up your scene, and you've got all of these grounding elements, which just make everything work effortlessly. You've got the river and the path there that will fit into the bottom. Then you've got your rocks, you've got your log, you've got your tree, your grass, and the foliage to go on the bottom. Then you've got the leaves, which are going to go on the top of the tree. And then you've also got the flowers, which coordinate in with the larger flowers that we've already showed you. So you've got them in large and small. So you could have the big flowers at the front, and then you can have them in the background, and they coordinate perfectly. Beautiful.
Right, and then we'll go on to the rattan.
Okay, so that is all
card
things
shapes.
spring
So that-
grandeur. That is yours for £25. That's dividing the cost by 4. That is yours for free P&P before anybody else, any other channel, by shopping carnationcrafts.co.uk. And whilst you're on there, by the way, because I just had a scroll then and I went into your Facebook page and I know what's coming up next week now, which is very exciting. That next week works beautifully with this, but as you said, the bed would be perfect.
Yeah.
Would be perfect. But what I'm saying is, whilst you're watching us, please shop. Make sure you get hold of yours before it sells out. Because as you heard, before the even start of this show on the craft store, over 70% had sold out. And it was the same stock update wise on all things rattan.
Yeah, I think everybody was just adding one of each into the basket. If they were grabbing one, you were grabbing the other one. But obviously we do have FlexiPay on that, ClearPay on there.
Yep, Flexi Clear Play.
One of them, I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah, so therefore it's £25 plus £10, so a month, £35 for them both.
Yeah.
No
which
P&P,
is
it's the
just
same transaction.
Amazing. So the rattan collection, you get the hat and the label. Now you do have the vignettes for these as well, which
so
you do for all of them.
Is that why? Let me
They
do this
look
one.
different,
So
yeah.
that one's a vignette and that one's not?
Yes.
Okay.
So this one's cut out with the vignette. So you can see all of the shading that gets added into these. But then this one's been cut in white cardstock, but you can really see the detail. Look how much detail is in the die that you get in there. But then when you do it with the vignette, obviously you've got that shading and that colouring in there, and it just adds to the detail.
All
in the
options,
die.
isn't it?
So much. But it looks beautiful either way.
Yep.
Either way that you use them, they are just so detailed. But you have them in the heart. You've got the outside matte layers there, so you can make your card bases with them. So you could either cut them out like that, use it as a matte layer onto your card, or you could cut it out like this one and use it as the actual card base itself. So you've got lots of different options using these. I know some of the design team use them as like apertures and things like that as well. And then you've got the label too. So you're going to get exactly the same, those outside mats, the shape there, and then you can either use the outside matte layers to make a card base, or we did one yesterday, I think it was, where I cut into the cardstock to make it like into an aperture and then did the scene around it. So there's just so many different ways that you can use these, because they are, to me, these ones are your essential. You'll use these with other collections as well.
Yeah, well, I love,
works so well.
Like on those two examples there, you saw there were some die-cut sentiments from a previous collection. Bring those in. Some of them have some foiling. Some are using embossing powders. Some are using stamped elements for you. Absolutely. Whatever else you've got, if you want to add them in, you can. It's really, really easy to do so. Hey, Laura.
Hey, Dan.
Shall we demonstrate?
Oh, are we demonstrating, are we?
Shall we? Or watch? Good stuff.
Shall we? Right, okay, I will.
Okay, you do that.
Watch.
I'm monitoring the comments.
Okay.
Give us a hello on Facebook or YouTube. I can see them both. Lots of people saying hello.
Right, so we're going to use the woods to start off with, and I want to use this as an actual card base.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not going to use the matte layers, I'm just going to use this. And the shading that you get in these, like already, that looks amazing. And all I've done is just the one cut.
Yeah, exactly. That's one pass through a die cut machine.
Yeah, so if you wanted to,
with the artwork,
you could cut into them. Like I know I've done like this one. So this is one I did yesterday. Now this one, I've gone in and snipped. So can you see I've snipped away? So I've cut the inside tree out, then I cut that one up. So I've decoupaged them up, look. So I've got 3 different layers on there. So you can do things like this, where you can go in and snip the trees, but you've got so much shading in there with the detail that it gives you that effect without needing to do that. But obviously if you do, it just takes it to a whole other level. So I want to use this as my card base, like I said. So I've got one there that I've already printed out. Then I've got some plain cardstock and another one, and I'm going to glue those together to give it the rigidity that it needs to actually be the card base, okay?
Yep.
And I am going to use my Thursday glue.
All right, too.
Yeah.
I love that. You get things like, as you said, like acetates, foam pads, glue. I love Carnation's take on the glue thing, where you get 7 bottles, right? 1 for each day?
Yep, you get 7 bottles, 1 for each day. And to be fair, I was like, oh, well, you know, it's the same glue. And what I do is when one of them starts getting low, I just tip the one that's getting low into another bottle.
Okay.
But apparently, so we had messages in then saying that I was doing it wrong, because you have to use the day glue on that day.
Yeah.
So Mark has given me a fresh batch of glue now, so I need to make
Well,
sure.
it was like you were telling me that you wear like your socks for like 3 to 4 days in a row. So you're wearing Monday socks on Thursday. I know, what a lady. On Thursday still. It's just not right, Laura. Like you used to write one on the right day.
Right. Do you know, I've always thought that, because you can see socks in the shop that have got the days of the week on. And I'm like, do people actually keep the sock?
That's how I found out most calendar dates. That's how I do it.
Okay.
I've got 365
whatever works for you. Well, no, wouldn't you just have...
There'd be something slightly, I don't know, I think I'd feel off if I had Monday's socks on a Thursday. I'd know.
You'd know. Okay.
How would you feel? Comment on Facebook right now or YouTube. How are you wired? I think it's really interesting. Would you be using the same glue on the right day?
Yeah, actually,
Or would
let
you
us
be cool-
know.
or would you be
because
cool
then
about
if
it?
we get more comments on here saying, no, it's fine, it doesn't matter, then I can go back to my, my normal way of just grabbing any glue.
I'd be using the right glue on the right day. And also, let's not forgetting all the labels, you get 7 bottles of glue. So if you're doing
7
workshops
bottles.
or you're sharing or you don't want to run out, that's exactly why you buy more than one thing anyway.
Yeah, and to be fair, like glue is the worst thing to run out of. There's nothing worse
You're
than
done.
if you're
You're
doing
scuppered.
if you're doing a project and then you run out of glue and you have to stop. So it's great that you get the 7 bottles there, because you know you can just pop some in your drawer and you've got more there ready to go. So I'm just adding the glue on here. And I'd always say, if you were going to do something like this that I'm doing now, to make one of the die cuts into the card base, make sure you do use a wet glue, because when this glue dries, the glue is going to also harden the cardstock as well. So that's going to help it keep its shape as well. So you're going to get a much better, stronger bond and a better hold using the wet glue than you would if you went in with tape.
I'm with you.
So
Good
use
point.
a wet glue. Right, so we've got that. You can see I've got my little fold there, and then we're going to go in and glue this one to there, like that. So that's going to give us that card shape.
I like how it's different, isn't it? Because I like how it's connecting, or where it's sort of like almost like twiggy and webbed look, isn't it? Like really fine elements, where normally the flat bit that connects to is a solid.
Yeah.
So you're not losing any design.
No, you're not losing any of the design. I love the idea as well of doing this in like dark cardstock and making it more like Halloween themed.
Defo. Yeah.
You could even if you cut that out in cream and did it in creams and golds, I think it would look so elegant for wedding cards, engagement cards, things like that too. So now, so you can see, look, how many layers. That's going to be really sturdy. That's going to hold its strength. So if I pop that there now, that's going to hold itself up, and you can.
Good point.
So and that's because I've done it with wet glue as well. It helps. Like if you feel the difference of that one and that one that's already dried.
Oh God, that feels like
It feels a lot thicker.
like almost
than
like
what it is,
what am I
doesn't
thinking
it?
of, like cardboard.
Yeah, but
rather
you
than
can
card,
feel
if you
that
know what I
one's
mean. Yeah, I
softer.
get you.
So when the glue dries, like this one will still bend, this one won't, because I've done it already and that's dried. So the wet glue will help that massively. So now we've done that. Now we can do the fun bit now.
Ah, here we go.
Fun bit.
Bring in the characters.
Yeah, so I've got the hedgehog there, I've got my squirrel, and then we've got our seam building element. So I'm going to add in the water, so the little river, and when I pop that there, you can just see how much of a difference that makes.
Suzanne, I have to use the right day of the week glue, otherwise it feels wrong.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Suzanne. Exactly.
Well, I am.
Yeah.
It's my new habit. I'm gonna stick to it.
What else comes in days of the week? Like glue does, socks do,
Socks.
probably pants.
I've never
Wait.
seen a pack of pants.
Yeah, of course there is. There must be. Socks are in that same, aren't they? Ilk? You haven't, Chris. Director Chris said he's got ones that say Wednesday on the front and Thursday on the back, so you just turn them around.
Oh.
And then inside out it says Tuesday and...
Oh, that's a step too
Kim,
far.
hello, Maureen, Alison have all just joined us and all probably just about to leave because of what we're talking about. Thank you, team.
Aww. Right, I'm adding in some of these bluebells.
Speaking of the design, by the way, if you think of these are really unique elements, I love the artwork. Where are they sourced from? Are they brought in elsewhere or an external designer or, these are all in-house, right?
Yep, so Nick and
gosh.
his...
I'll put the brakes on. What a day.
And you know, for a split second, I was like, oh my gosh, is that me going?
you? No, it was me.
With the table. Right, so yeah, so Nick and his team, Nick will hand draw everything and then his team will design everything to be used and made up into dies, and then they will design all of the artwork that you can see there to go with it. So everything is done up in the office, in-house. But I love the fact that their sole purpose when they're designing stuff is for us to use as card makers, which I feel makes
that's a very good point.
A difference. It's not, they're not looking at an image and thinking, well, how can we make this usable for crafters? You know, they are making an image for crafters, which I think makes such a difference.
You know what? When I went up to, like, last month or so, went up to Carnation Crafts, it's such a relaxed environment. Everyone's doing what they need to do. Like, everyone's busy, but it doesn't feel like an office. It feels like a family business, which I know it is, so it should. But sometimes, you know, companies expand and get bigger and bigger, and maybe you can lose that ethos a little bit. It still really feels like everyone's just quietly getting on with their day, really. And plus, there is Haribo everywhere, which is also absolutely brilliant as well. But I really love that everyone's like trusted to do their own thing.
Yes.
So if someone's got the headphones, you know, head down. That's the impression I got anyway. Yeah, okay, you're, you know, deadlines to go, or, you know, whatever's going on. Everyone's extremely welcoming, and it's just that sort of thing. And I know in the craft world in general, I know you guys at home are so keen to support the suppliers. So British companies, or from wherever they're from, British designers can keep doing their thing. That's exactly what the craft store does, because you do not shop at thecraftstore.com. You can go have a look, and the schedule's there, and you can watch there. But the point that we want to do is support suppliers as well. That's why every single penny that you spend goes directly 100% to carnationcrafts.co.uk, and you're dealing with carnationcrafts.co.uk. If it was a bigger company and another channel like Create and Craft where I used to work, you'd receive your package in 3 to 5 working days. Because you're going direct, Carnation Crafts right now are picking and packing the orders from this morning.
Yep, they will be.
So literally, some people got it the next day. I'm not going to guarantee you're going to get it tomorrow, but you're going to get it the day after that. Create and Craft, that's my experience, could never compete with that for many, many reasons. And so it's so exciting that you are doing that, going direct, shopping at carnationcrafts.co.uk, getting the best price. They decide the free P&P, which is free, like free P&P as well. You can still divide the cost if you want to. And whilst you're on the website, Laura, just to re-emphasise, if you don't want the artwork and you want to colour it in yourself, or you want to do white on white, brilliant. But if you do want the artwork, you can access the artwork for free.
Yeah, so now when you go over to the website and you go to purchase this, it'll be on there under like you might like. So if you've clicked on there, or if not, go over to free downloads, or just type in Spring Grandeur, and then you'll see on there, you'll see the free artwork for the images. So it'll say free artwork, and it'll come up £0. Then you'll see the inserts, then you'll see the background papers as well. So you could download all of those while you're making the purchase. Your download, you will get, I want to say within 1 minute. Yeah. You'll have an email with that download on there straight away. So you could download and have printed these off before the end of the show, which is amazing. And then, like we've said, we can't guarantee that they'll come tomorrow, but it will be very quick. And then you're going to have all your downloads there ready to cut out straight away.
This is brilliant, isn't it? What a service. Fabulous. Right,
so while we've just been talking about that, I've just gone around the trees and I'm just adding in. So the daffodil heads that I'm putting in are actually the decoupage parts that go onto the daffodils.
Okay.
But I'm just using them like this separately. So you don't have to use them as the decoupage all the time. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm just going to go in and add those little bits in. And then we're going to add some of our grounding elements here. So we can add, we're going to add one at the back.
We've just gone 1:30 in the afternoon. We are live, of course, on the Craft Store. I'm loving that most of you are watching on YouTube, which at the start, most of you watched on Facebook. It's now YouTube, which I like to think that's because you've got a smart TV and you found your YouTube app, or you just go on the internet and type in YouTube, and then you type in the Craft Store TV and you watch it on your telly. Just like
when you said earlier there was more people watching on YouTube, I was surprised. But then when you said about streaming it to the TV, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense then,
Big telly, you can see everything there, and then you can shop on your phone or your tablet or your laptop, whatever you're doing.
Yeah, or you're watching maybe on your like tablet and stuff while you're crafting. That's what I normally do. I'll have it on the computer while I'm crafting, because I have to have, that's what makes me laugh when I go up to the office, because everybody is sat there and it's so quiet.
Yeah.
And I can't do that. When I'm crafting, I have to have noise.
So what do you have on? Music?
I love
radio?
Music on, or the TV, or like I have to have some type of noise. I can't just sit there with no noise.
I used to be like that
Cannot do
at
it.
uni. I always played the one album. I played every assignment for 3 years. It wasn't Peter Andre. It was Best of Dire Straits,
Okay.
like Sultans of Swing. I think it was called that.
Oh, I just have to have anything,
It's quite
even if
relaxed.
it's just if I've got a TV program playing, I have to have some type of noise, just something playing in the background. So even when I'm doing, like, even if when I'm prepping the show or whatever, I have to have something.
How about you at home? A lot of
Something
people
on.
have. I know a lot of people have the craft store on in the background, or you used to have Creating Craft on in the background. Are you still like that, like a similar channel, or are you the radio? Do you never miss 10 to the top, for example? Maybe it's rock and roll and really loud. Maybe it is silence.
Yeah, I find it helps me concentrate though. Like I'll get more done if I've got something playing
I
than
think it's a bit like white noise, you know, like
if I don't.
I find it so easy to sleep. Like in the car, it's not quiet. But ideally, if I'm a passenger, I find it really easy to sleep. Really easy.
you?
Yeah, straight away in the car. If I'm being driven, I'm just like, wonder why that is.
Isn't that like from the movement? Because isn't that what they say with babies? That babies go to sleep in the car because it's like the movement of them, like as if they're in a pram.
Just a big baby.
Yeah, basically.
When I take Barney to swimming, even though it's a really noisy leisure centre and it's, you know, that sends me to sleep. It's like trying to pay attention.
Oh well.
I don't
I don't know
know.
what to say to that, but
It is like white noise, I guess. There must be some theory behind it.
probably. Right, so we've popped in our sentiment. So you can see there we've got just to say.
Is that just to say from the Perfect Papers?
It is. So I've used the perfect papers there to cut that out. And then I'm going to turn this round. So you've got your scene at the bottom with those trees, but you can see the trees on the inside as well. And if I flip that round, it still looks beautiful from the other side because you've got the mirrored vignette.
Ah, now the little flowers that are behind there, I thought you were putting them behind. He's got a little a peak of the pink coming through, but actually it's, so you can see them from the back as well, just in there.
Yeah, so you'll see them there. So you can see them coming up from the front.
Yeah.
But you'll still see them coming up in the back as well.
Isn't it beautiful? Right, here's the plan, Stan. Do you want to get ready for another?
Okay.
And shall I dash that way and be 90 seconds and come back? Yeah?
Yeah.
All right then, I'm going to dash. Come with me, friends. Now, hugely excited if you are just joining us. Welcome. You are watching The Craft Store. We're kind of new on the block, kind of not, I know. But what is different to this is it's only on Facebook and YouTube, and you can watch on our website, of course. But you are shopping directly with carnationcrafts.co.uk for the latest, the brand new collection. You cannot get it anywhere else but carnationcrafts.co.uk. Let's have a look at some samples, because I know before this show ends, we will go back through the board so you can see exactly the size of the dies, etc. What you can do with them, the little cut lines in there. What you are seeing now is that artwork that is for free, as in the coloured artwork, all designed in-house in Derbyshire at carnationcrafts.co.uk. You can spy things like the congratulations has been added in. That's one of the backgrounds there. That is just a card blank. I think it's probably about 8 by 8, I reckon, on that card blank. Maybe you've got loads of card blanks at home. Maybe you cut your own. You haven't got to use them as a card shape. But the difference with Carnation Crafts is that you can. So you do get the basket and bow card shape. The forest floor, as Laura's just beautifully demonstrated, can absolutely be used as a unique card blank. You think it'd be too intricate and too finely cut with where the branches start interweaving at the top. Not on this occasion. You can see there, maybe it's going to be for a younger audience, a teddy bear's picnic, an Easter egg hunt. Maybe you're going to remove the cute characters and it's going to be all about the florals for Mother's Day coming up on the 30th of March. By the way, about the 30th of March is when this is available elsewhere, and do follow Laura and watch the demonstrations 100%. But let's make sure we get ours first. Let's make sure we get it for the lowest possible price. Let's make sure we get free P&P. That's what carnationcrafts.co.uk allow you to do. To make and sell if you want to. And then you have someone's feeling under the weather and you want to make them a basket of flowers or a hamper. You've got the basket in here. And then there's a newborn on the way where the teddies and the other woodland creatures, the hedgehogs, etc. is perfect for. Maybe someone loves the great outdoors and collects these animals and things. They are also perfect for that. Maybe it's weddings, anniversaries, the new blooms, the daffodils, the bluebells, etc., etc. Absolutely divine, and that is what you can take advantage of. And then you are not parting with £119.99, by the way. It's under £100 with carnationcrafts.co.uk. Did you hear a cheer just then? Yeah. Something's going on outside. But you can divide it interest-free by 4. As Laura mentioned, ClearPay, £25 today. Please, if you're going for the spring grandeur, add in the rattan card shapes collection. That's only an extra £10 this month, and in the same transaction, it's free P&P. If you want the perfect papers, in the same transaction as this one, free P&P, and that's only an extra £3.75. Or just go for this collection. I just want you to maybe get it all home at the best possible price. Laura, how ready are you?
Ready.
She's ready. Okie dokie. So you go to carnationcrafts.co.uk, and that's where you see everything happening. By the way, we've got very special shows coming up on Monday the 10th, which is something completely different too. And then Monday the 17th after then, you're going to see Jamie Rogers live in this studio. Also, you're going to see Storage for Crafts live in this studio. Two brands that have never been on the craft store before, and even more coming in March. There'll be plenty for you to look forward to. Okie dokie.
Ready?
All right. Yeah.
Okay, right, so for this one, I wanted to use the rattan card shapes, but I've done a lot of different card shapes, I feel. So like I've used the trees just now as a card shape. We did the basket earlier, so I'm doing a 6x6. So I thought, right, let's do something more normal.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going back to basics.
Well, you know what? Yeah, maybe you've just ordered a batch load of 6x6. You've got 100 of them. Let's not waste our money. Let's make sure we're using them, right? Because you can. Maybe this is your favourite card shape.
Yeah, so we're going to mix it up a little bit. So we're going in with our card shape, and then we've got the perfect papers that are going to sit on top. So I've got that lovely pink colour that is going to just sit on there. And then we've got some of our blush that is just going to sit on top.
Karen's just joined us. Susan says, music or TV is always on when my crafting's on.
There you go. See, it's not just me.
Linda's just joined as well. Hello, Linda. I get that. A bit of background noise.
Yeah, it just helps. I find it with anything, even if I'm cleaning, I've got to have music.
Yeah.
And I feel like I get more cleaning done then.
Some people out there in the world have nothing on when they're driving.
I can't understand that.
They are not my people.
Cannot understand that.
Some people
One bit.
I think those people are like actually just really, really settled and probably really, really happy. And I'm like, I need a distraction.
No, I have to have.
Like sometimes my radio doesn't work when I turn the car on. Every now and again. Every now and again, it just doesn't work.
I can't think of
and
anything
I've either got to stop the
worse.
car and turn it on again.
Yeah.
And obviously you don't, do you? So you just keep driving in silence.
Oh, I can't think of anything worse than just driving.
It's really weird.
In silence.
Mm-hmm.
I do like carpool karaoke.
I bet you do. Who's the latest?
I'll listen to like anything. I'll have the most random, and because my like Apple Music thing will just make a playlist of songs that they think that I'll listen to. So it could be like the most random, complete random playlist. It could go from like, I don't know, like Guns N' Roses to like 5 or something.
They're back.
Just like completely random.
Great.
But yeah.
So your music rather than
I'll
like
just
a podcast?
be like, yeah, when I'm driving. Yeah. And then I have it just loud enough that I can sing without actually hearing myself singing. So I'm like, I sound amazing. I should start singing.
I should definitely start singing.
Yeah. And then
sound really good.
And then the sat nav will kick in. And when the sat nav starts talking, it lowers the volume of the music for me.
Yeah.
Like automatically. And then I'll be like, oh no, definitely don't. Shouldn't start singing. No. But yeah.
Isn't it weird that when the music's on, what do you think at home? When the music's playing to your songs, you know every single word, don't you? You know every single word. The second if someone went to me, oh, what's the lyrics to Get On Up by 5? I'd be like, not a clue.
But if I played it and then just paused it and said, what comes next?
Ah, true. Maybe you need to
get in your... Is it because you're like in the frame of it?
Get in the zone. I don't know, you can tell we're not trained musicians. if Laura drives past, if someone drives past you in a yellow car, and
with the music blaring,
yeah,
singing
exactly. Music up and the windows down,
then you know it's me.
That's you.
Yeah. It will be now as well.
Is that fun? I was playing Guns N' Roses earlier.
I mean, why not? Isn't it? And the sun's out. What more could you ask for?
I'll tell you a quick story, then we'll get straight back to crafting. I promise you. I used to live with a chap called Adam. And lots of people know who Adam is in this industry. Mm-hmm. And one time outside our house, some car pulled up, blazing music, and I was like, oh, the youth of today, listening to their rap music all loud. It wasn't. It was Adam listening to Land of Hope and Glory.
Aww.
Ridiculous.
Well, there you go.
Who plays that loud anyway? And who listens to it in a car?
That is a bit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, each to their own.
I think it had just been like the Queen's birthday or something. It was a long time ago. It's probably
Yeah,
like
but
50.
had it just come on the radio or something, or was he actually?
No, he was playing it with
selected
yeah,
it.
he selected it.
Oh.
Probably about 8 years ago this was. I was like, who does that? Anyway.
Adam, apparently.
What happened to him?
Right.
He's fine, that sounds...
Right, now I've got the rattan label and I've cut that out and I've done it in white cardstock.
Okay.
And then I'm just pulling off a couple of the small foam pads. Now, these foam pads you can get on our website.
Have they already cut this size? Because I would not be able to cut it myself this size. Okay,
these are the ones from our Clean and Simple range.
Aha.
So you'll be able to get those. Now, that is going to sit on there, and I've done that because I really wanted this to stand out. And then I'm going to cut the one that I've done with the vignette on top. So that's going to go on there, so you can see how that just stands out. So I'm kind of just using them just as matte layers.
We've only got 10 minutes left on the show. Loads of you are watching again after the hour. We noticed the viewing figures absolutely spike after the show. Maybe that's when you get inspired, or maybe you missed the live show. You can watch back on Facebook. Most of you watch back on YouTube, after all. This is the rattan collection you're using right now, isn't it? Which you get the label, which is what you're looking at right now.
You get the label and the heart.
And the heart.
Yeah. Which has been just as popular as the main collection. I'm not surprised. Like, look at the detail on that. Just that on its own. You could easily just put, and you can use it either way as well, which I love. You could just stamp a sentiment in there and just pop a flower there.
Yeah.
And it looks.
I like the perfect papers, the pink and then the dotties.
Yeah, so you've got the matching, the perfect papers in there as well, so you can coordinate them up. And the matinee that go in the centre, that's what I've used for the sentiment too. So I've just cut those out in the same perfect papers and white, and then just stamped one of those stamps on there. So that's going to go there.
This centre bit, what do you think about at home? I think that's, you see like flag dies like that for directionals and ordnance, for books, like memory books.
You could use them, so get your flowers, and you could use them like the flower.
Like these are daffodils. These are
what they called?
like little sticks that go in that tell you what they are, right?
Yeah, but they must be called something.
They must be sticks, signs,
like
posts.
the flower name.
Yeah, like when it's stakes.
Is it?
When it's planted, or
yeah,
what
it's like
bulb
when they
is here.
plant them in like the baby pots, isn't it? And they you don't know what it is, so you put like a little thingy-majiggy in there.
It must be a label.
Little thingy-majiggy.
We're struggling here with any words, really, aren't we? But yeah, it does look like that.
Yeah, so you could use it like that. But I'm going to use the teepee now, and I'm going to build up a little scene just at the bottom of the label with
There was nothing more exciting than camping in the garden when I was a kid. The best. Yes,
I
I'm in the
remember
garden.
once,
Yeah.
me and my friend were, I can't remember how old we were, but we got to the age where we were like, we want to go camping, and our parents were like, no, you can't go camping, you're too young. So we'd convinced them to leave us camp in her front garden.
Front garden?
Yeah.
There
was nobody else there. It was just, there was like a river. There was like a drive and then a river. So there was nobody there. So we were like...
Front garden.
Yeah, because we felt like we were outside then. It wasn't
Yeah,
the
I get
back.
you.
We were like out in the wild.
Yeah.
So I think we lasted about 2 hours.
They come
we were
in.
back at the house.
I remember sneaking in camping in the garden thinking, it's so late, let's go in the kitchen. I can't remember which friend I was with. Let's get some snacks and stuff. Like, Mum and Dad were still up. It was like 9:15. Thought you were camping. Is it not midnight?
Oh, fun and games. I camped on the beach once, and then we went...
Did you?
Yeah, and then we
in
went...
a tent on the sand?
Yeah. And then a couple of years ago, my kids wanted to go camping, and I flat out refused. So we booked to go glamping.
Yes.
Oh, I was like, no, this is not for me.
Glamping wasn't?
No.
I thought that was so
No.
much better.
Yeah, well, it is, but it's not a me thing.
Okay.
It was not a me thing.
Not anymore.
I was too cold, and no. Maybe if it had gone when it was more summertime, it would have been a bit better. But I froze. I was miserable, and I was like, no.
Can't imagine.
Which is all I've moaned about today.
How did you put the poles in, like peg them to the sand, or do you stick them in the sand?
Yeah, just pop them in the sand. To be fair, I was younger then. I went with my friend and
Carefree.
her parents, so they'd have I didn't have to worry about the tent and stuff.
That is a thing, isn't it?
So I feel like it's different when you go camping as a kid. It's just fun, isn't it? Because you don't have to worry about
Somebody else has to do
anything,
everything. Yeah.
So I'm just going to go and add those in there, and then let's pop this sentiment down.
About 6 minutes on this show. By all means, I want to make sure everyone knows, most of you are watching on YouTube. When you're on YouTube, search for the Craft Store TV. There are 2 craft stores on there. We have them both, but obviously the one with the most followers is where we want to direct people to, because that's where most of you are going to be, where the lives are as well. And have a little look back, by the way, because there's previous content made by Carnation Crafts, there's previous content made by Hachanda, there's lots with guests who are on the channel, who aren't on the channel, who were, who aren't anymore. So there's lots still there for you, but where that red ring is around the logo, both on Facebook, that's where you watch it live. Subscribe on YouTube, by the way, because then you'll get a little notification saying this person's on, that person's on. You can tune in if you can or not. You can know to tune back in later on if you can't watch it live.
Right, so all I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop this there, but before I pop that down, so again, the perfect thing with those mirrored vignettes. So if you've got a flower or like this, a branch or something, and you want to change the direction that that's going, you can absolutely do that. So like I was saying about the heart, you could build up a heart wreath. The beauty of having those mirrored vignettes is you can flip them so that you can make them fit into whatever project you are doing, which just works amazingly. And then I'm going to pop that one there, and then we're going to pop this.
Whilst we're finishing this card, I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. Monday night, Monday the 10th, is something brand new to the Craft Store, by the way. If there's a gent in your life that you want to buy gifts to, there's a show for you Monday night. If it's Mother's Day on your radar and you want to get some candles and that kind of thing, you're not necessarily making your own, these are giftables, that's on Monday night as well. So there's loads of new stuff, just to try see if you like it, on the Craft Store. That is beautiful, Laura.
But really, really easy and quick to put together.
Yep.
It just comes together so easy. And you can see there, we've used the rattan label, we've used the teddy bear's picnic, we've used the forest floor and the Easter egg hunters. And you can just see how easy that comes together. Now, if you are somebody that you make and sell, obviously you could sell so many of these. But the lovely thing is, if you did things like this as well, and maybe somebody comes up to you and says, oh, I love this card. Could you make that for my grandson or my granddaughter for Easter? I want to give them an Easter card. You could have those Easter eggs cut out in a little bag next to you. And you could just pop those little Easter eggs around the scene into that basket, and you've completely transformed it into an Easter card, which is amazing.
Those little characters, yeah. I say, like, maybe you've got other ideas and you've got like boxed eyes and things that the Easter eggs are going to go in. Then put the bunny on the front, surround them in Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Like, you haven't got to use these card blanks, have you?
No, and there's a lovely sample over there of
Should we wander that way?
Shall we wander? There's a lovely sample where one of the design team has added in a couple of the trees to actually. I'm just gonna.
Should we keep walking? Don't go too far. You're going to a different studio.
This one.
Oh, right in the middle.
Do you want me to pick it up?
That one?
There you go. So can you see how?
Ah, no, is that the forest floor that's been like snipped up?
Yeah, and added in, so it has made the forest scene bigger. So don't be afraid to go in and do things like that as well. So you don't have to keep it to the size that it comes. You could go in and add in more, and that looks absolutely stunning, adding in more of those trees.
You can do exactly that. You can copy that card, exactly your one, exactly, or do something completely different, whatever you want to do. But that is the whole point for making and selling, absolutely. But you can't do any of these things if you haven't got it delivered to your door.
Nope.
And you want to get the brand new. I know we always want the brand new collection because things are always evolving, different ideas, new designs, different trends.
Yep.
You've got it all right in front of us with the spring grandeur, and you can only get it in one place, and that is carnationcrafts.co.uk. That is only one place till the end of March, and you will obviously have you could have been crafting with this for 3.5 weeks before other channels elsewhere get to have a go. So you can get hold of yours with more money off, free P&P, under £100, the Spring Grandeur collection. Laura, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your demonstrations, all your help. I want to say thank you to the Carnation Crafts team, Mark, Nick, and everybody involved there. They're always so supportive and open to different ideas. And to bring the launch here as well, it works for them, it works for us. We appreciate that. We'll see you later with this, right? So end of the month, your Hobby Maker in?
Yes, but on Monday,
Yes.
on Carnation Crafts TV, we have something else new on Monday.
Is this where the dog bed might help?
Yeah, it might do a little bit. You said that now, not me. So
You said it last
I'm not
hour,
getting
did you?
in trouble.
Hey, listen, go on Carnation Crafts Facebook page. You can see it there. Go on carnationcrafts.co.uk and get shopping. Divide the cost interest-free. Right, Laura, thank you so much. There's much more streaming coming up later in this week. I will see you live on Monday night with something a little bit special on the Craft Store.